I have to point out that one of the things I love about Montreal is there's a high percentage of Michels here. I've met a number of them so far. Canada was the first country I visited after I took office. Last year, Michelle and I were delighted to host our friends Justin and Sophie for their first official visit and state dinner with Canada in the United States in nearly 20 years. And I had the great privilege of addressing the Canadian Parliament in Ottawa. Most importantly, my brother-in-law is Canadian. But this is my first visit to Montreal. So, merci beaucoup. And what a time to visit. I understand this is a full summer of celebrations for your 375th birthday, so bon anniversaire. My French accent is terrible, but it's heartfelt, the good wishes to this extraordinary world-class city. It's been clear for some time that the world is at an inflection point. From a city like this, we can look upon the world that has benefited enormously from the international order that the United States and Canada and other allies helped to build together in the wake of World War II. But we can see that that same order is increasingly strained by the accelerating forces of change. The unrelenting pace of globalization, the breathtaking pace of technological change. These shifts have shaken the foundations of individual families and our communities and our collective politics, and that has happened in both developed and developing countries. Progress does not always move in a straight line, and its gains are often fragile if we as citizens are not tilling the soil and maintaining that democracy. But having said that, the good news is I am convinced that the future does not belong to strong men. I believe deeply that the liberal international order, based not just on military power or national affiliations, but on principles, on rule of law, on human rights, on individual freedoms, on empathy, on understanding across cultures, that's our only choice. That's what's brought us this far. That's what's promoted economic opportunity. That's what's prevented another world war. That's what's lifted millions of people out of poverty around the globe. So those of us who believe in those values and believe in democracy, we have to speak out with conviction. We have to listen. We have to acknowledge imperfect information. We don't have a monopoly on wisdom, but we have to speak on behalf of those things that we know are true and are right, because both the facts and history, I believe, are on our side. That's why the focus for the rest of my time on this earth, in addition to enjoying my children and in a distant future grandchildren, will be active citizenship in the United States and around the world. The Obama Foundation will be based in Chicago, but we're going to have projects and programs and partnerships and digital networks all over the world. And there will be partnerships with local organizations who are already doing great work in their communities. And our focus is going to be on creating space for a wide range of diverse participants to come together and be involved and be engaged, and to solve local problems and train the next generation of citizens and leaders on the global stage as well. And I'm looking forward to working with counterparts in Canada on this generational project, because I believe that the future is on our side, and I believe there's not a challenge on the planet that Americans and Canadians can't figure out if we're working together. If we stand up for our values and our ideals, and we are bringing that next generation of leaders to the fores, and we're going to carry on the proud legacy and the extraordinary work that's been done by our fathers and mothers and previous generations. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.